Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
That's right, companies to watch, and Dan Koh back in business with me.
That's right, Ryan. Welcome back from Vietnam. How was your trip?
Pretty good. Always fun to go to new places, explore new things, but I'm glad to be back.
Did it satisfy your V-pop?
Yes.
Been
So
listening
I
to?
had a chance to check out some new bars. Huffington was one of those places, number 47 in Asia.
Ooh.
It was quite an experience. It's like a private museum.
Oh.
You've got fossils hanging around. You've got stuffed animals. So it's almost like going to a different world when you're sipping your cocktails.
Wow, I never thought that Vietnam had that much to offer. I mean, when it comes to
I think it's all about the
exhibitions.
experience these days when it
Yeah.
comes to the retail strategy.
Right. Thanks for sharing, Ryan. It seems like that might be potentially the next place I'll be traveling to. But welcome to Companies to Watch, and we're traveling over to China today. It's a question of hot or not. Text us 88550893 and tell us whether you think the next stock is going to be a hot or not. And Ryan, today's pick was actually inspired by a fellow listener.
Oh, a special request.
Yes, a special request by Ian Tan, who asked to review Cha in my next stock review. And for those of us who don't already know, Cha is the ticker symbol for Chagee.
CHA.
It's the new style tea story that's taking China and increasingly the world by storm. Chagee, have you tried any of their drinks before?
Gosh, I remember when they first landed in Singapore,
Yeah.
the queues were crazy.
Phenomenal.
So I have not had a chance to try it till last month.
Oh, wow.
So it's always been quite crowded. So
Yeah.
I passed by one not too long ago and I tried it out. It was okay. It didn't blow me away. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I ordered the wrong flavor or something. But
What
yeah,
did you order? Do you remember what you ordered?
I think it was the oolong something.
Yeah, I think that was one of their specialties, right? If not, it's the jasmine green milk tea that a lot of people pick as well. But yes, it was founded back in 2017, and the premium milk tea brand, they've sprinted from a single store to more than 7,000 outlets worldwide, and of course landed on the Nasdaq this year under the ticker CHA Cha. So yes, Cha, it's positioning itself as a premium fresh milk tea chain.
Yeah.
And you want to think, tea espresso machines, sleek stores, higher ticket versus mass market peers, and of course, a heavy franchise tilt for rapid scaling. And I've seen the branches, I've seen how crowded it can get. It seems like, the hype all around it, it's building up really nicely for them, would you say?
Let's paint that premium experience. So you get
Yeah.
your drinks in a very fancy cup. It's
Yeah.
very well made, quality cup, and then the prices come with it as well, about 7-ish, I think.
Quite expensive.
And it comes in a nice bag as well.
The bag reminds me of that of Dior.
It does.
Right?
So it gives you that nice feeling that, hey, you
Yeah.
spent at
Prestige.
luxury.
Makes you feel very atas. Now, the brand started in Yunnan. It set up its HQ in Chengdu and, of course, pushed abroad through Southeast Asia, notably in Malaysia and Singapore, with fresh momentum within the last 2 years. Now, it first priced its US IPO at about $28 on April 17th this year, and then began trading on the Nasdaq Global Select Market as CHA, raising as much as over $400 million. So shares opened at about $33.75. That's about 21% above the offer price, and valuing the company at roughly $6.2 billion on debut. Now, it's considered to be one of the largest U.S. listings by a Chinese consumer name in recent years. That signals strong investor interest in China's domestic consumption stories. And if we look to their latest financial report, fast forward to the second quarter of this year, results released on the 29th of August, Chagee reported gross merchandise value of about 8.103 billion renminbi. That's 15% year-over-year increase. Net revenue of 10.2% year-on-year increase. So it does seem like the hype is building up quite nicely.
Sales are going up.
Yep. And a lot of people are still drinking the milk tea. Adjusted net profit was about an 18.9% adjusted margin increase. Store count reached about more than 7,000 globally by June of this year, with overseas GMV up about 77%. Malaysia still remains the core overseas base, followed by Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, as well as the US, which are all in ramp mode. So the same quarter did also also highlight that, operating profitability compressed sharply, some citing about a 3% margin depending on which profit line you look at. It's either the GAAP versus adjusted. So I think it also has to do with the fact that they're expanding so quickly, especially to these overseas market, considering how within the domestic market they're facing a lot of challenges.
Yeah, I think with expansion, there's always a lot of upfront costs like the marketing, the discounts, the promotions. So there is a bit of spending in order to be accounted for before the revenue or the profits start to come in.
Certainly so. And yes, it also suggests that while headline growth remains strong, under the hood margins is still volatile as, Chagee continues to spend to expand, especially in newer markets like North America. How well received do you think that would be for bubble tea?
So I was quite curious, right? If you're not in China or even not in Asia, would you kind of connect with a brand like Chagee? Like, would you want to go to Chagee if you're an American? Yeah.
Things to watch out for: economics of new markets. We're talking ticket size, throughput, and of course the payback period. Now, franchise versus self-operating mix, that are some factors that you need to consider as well, because that might affect their royalty adjustments. Input costs and promo intensity in China's crowded tea arena, that is likely to weigh on their, profit gains as well. And since listing at about $28 and popping above $33, the stock has seemed to be cooling in recent weeks. And if we look at where they last traded, it's about $16.64. It does show how it's trading well below its post-IPO highs and lower than the range that was reported by market trackers. So in short, a big round trip for early buyers and a reset as we're looking at it now as investors start to reassess margins and global execution risk. So then, what might be the bull case for Chagee? Well, the category leader potential would be the new style tea, which is moving and taking the world by storm at large. Its habit-forming category, though the fact that it's a premium boba tea chain.
Okay, I see. New style tea, you're talking about the fruits, the various premium oolong, tea leaves,
jasmine, green tea.
So stuff that you don't normally find in other places.
Yeah, more expensive ingredients, right? So that is likely to defend its price and brand. Of course, it's scaling and the data mode as well, with more than about 7,000 stores worldwide and over, I think, about 200 million digital membership base. That is likely to drive personalized promos and operational efficiency at scale. And given the fact that, its international runway plus the US entry, that might offer multi-year growth outside China if unit economics continue to hold for them. Post-IPO discipline, it does seem like, access to US capital markets can likely fund selective expansion and, of course, supply chain upgrades for them.
Okay.
But therein lies the bear case, Ryan. Margin compression. Even with strong revenue, profitability did swung down on some gap lines in the second quarter 25. Some investors didn't exactly like how, the expansion doesn't seem to show clear payback. And there's also fierce competition to consider. China's tea market is crowded and promotional. Any price war would continue to erode premium positioning. And the overseas execution risk, that's like what you said, right, Ryan? Some people might have different tastes. We never know if the markets might receive that product well enough for them to expand successfully. And of course, US listing overhangs from Chinese ADRs, the fact that they carry regulatory and geopolitical risk, that might also weigh on some of their profit margins.
Yeah, that was also a curious thing for me. Why did they list in US when their presence was not as big? Maybe SGX listing would have made more sense.
Yeah, it does seem like, they are just hitting it all in, considering how US is the biggest market within the world. So I think that might be heavy risk they're taking that might also reap big rewards for them if it actually pulls through. So in summary, the growth engine is still intact, store count is still scaling, and of course the brand has real consumer pull. But the trade-off between growth and profitability is front and center after the second quarter of 2025. So that being said, if you believe that the management can continue to tighten their unit economics, especially overseas, and of course re-rating potential exists from today's lower share price base, that might be a bull case for you. But then again, if margins continue to stay thin, there's no real gains or profit to look at, then it could likely to remain as a show me story for now. And having considered all the factors, I suppose for Chagee today, it's gonna be a not for me. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah. Probably not so optimistic, but I like the fact that they are trying new things, like this new blind box.
Yes, that's
concept
pretty
they're
cool.
going for. Like we hear a lot about how blind boxes are pretty trendy these days. Chagee has also jumped on a bandwagon with what's called the Bestie plushie collection. So BESTEA, Bestie.
Bestie.
So it is pretty much, I think, a series of plushies, keychain plushies that you can hang on your bag. I think there are about 8 that you can collect. So something for you to maybe think about.
Yeah, and they look pretty cutie.
It's like pretty much a bubble tea soft toy.
Yeah. All right. And that would pretty much do it for our Stock in Focus, Chagee. As of the 15th of September, we've got Tip Ranks, Yahoo, and Barron's giving it a rather optimistic rating. They're giving it a buy. So yes, 8855-0893. Tell us whether you think it's going to be a hot or not. All right, Ryan, here's some fun facts about Chagee. Now, did you know that the top performing tea houses uses automated machines to serve tea in just 8 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? So, 97% of Chagee stores are actually franchised. Only about 169 out of their 7,000 stores were directly owned in 2024. So, technically speaking, a lot of these are just, run by, various stakeholders who want a bit of a share in Chagee.
Okay, do you say it's automated?
Yes, automated machines at their top performing warehouses.
So you call them ATMs?
Oh, very good, Ryan. All right, how many cups do you think they sell every minute?
Wow, every minute around the world? 10,000.
10,000? No, 438 cups a minute, Ryan.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's about 26,280 cups per hour and over 630,000 cups per day.
Okay.
So what kind of tea is easiest to make?
Jasmine tea?
Simplicity. And what kind of tea is hard to swallow?
I don't know.
Reality.
Okay, of course.
And that's all we have for Chagee.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.